This is gonna change our lives forever.
There was a time when the Yahoo Boys upset the entire world. A renowned group of young people from Nigeria that has a reputation of nothing good other than scams. You see, they have conned people millions of dollars from all around the world, laundering money from various online crimes that includes bank cyber heists and business email compromise. By contrast, the Yahoo Boys targets victims online, hacks into their emails account, pretend to be somebody who they are not, and fool victims into wiring money where it does not belong. And Hushpuppi outminds them all.
Now they use Ben's cap, they oppress Toyota people. Una don't die.
He took an international scope targeting international victims, unlike his counterparts who are based in Nigeria. Hushpuppi gained influence on Instagram by his fake wealth lifestyle. Every post he made of himself on Instagram was full of ultra-expensive cars, and when he flied, he used private jets while dressed on Louis Vuitton apparel. In his home, he lived in a penthouse apartment, owning shelves of designer shoes. The shoes that were made only once, they were made specifically for him alone. Attending big events in Dubai as a guest of honor, and even feeding from prominent chefs, the likes of the Turkish chef Salt Bay. And because of all of this extravagant lifestyle, his Instagram followers kept growing each and every night. Little did everyone know that Hushpuppi's lifestyle was built on nothing else but lies and money laundering. This video is about the rise and the fall of Hushpuppi and how he made millions of money from nothing but scams. Hushpuppi, whose real name is Ramon Abbas, a Nigerian Instagram celebrity known for flaunting a lavish lifestyle on social media. Ramon Abbas was born on October 11, 1982 in Lagos, Nigeria. His father was a hardworking taxi driver, while his mother used to sell foodstuffs across the road in Lagos, Nigeria. Abbas during those times was a honest child to his dad, that even when he got of age, his dad, a taxi driver, connected him with a car washing job, where he started washing vehicles. However, later as an ambitious youth, he was thoughtful about working abroad to save his family from poverty. As an elder son in a family of 3 children, Abbas tried severally to relocate to France, but regretful, he didn't get a chance. However, years later, he was privileged to relocate to Malaysia, where he worked extremely very hard in different jobs. But the income wasn't enough to meet the ends. And this is the time when Abbas started thinking about other ways of making money online without working too hard. He wanted to become rich at whatever cost, whether by compromising people or causing other business to fall. That wasn't his concern. So Abbas had a plan. Instead of working hard and finding a decent job, he decided to stop working and started meeting people, therefore networking. Abbas met new friends at the fanciest restaurants during the day and at night in the clubs in Malaysia. In particular, this is when he started posting pictures on his Insta pretending to be rich like some of his friends. And somehow, his Instagram page started to become popular and people started recognizing him just the way he wanted. You see, Abbas wanted to get attention on the social media. Therefore, he did all things possible to get that attention. Then used that attention to make his followers believe his wealth and thus to defraud them. But there was a problem here. Since he was not working most of the time, Abbas depleted all of his savings, and he could not afford to maintain his fake status on Instagram, where he considered himself a successful real estate broker. Abbas getting a 9-to-5 job repulsed him. He hated it. So he felt that he had only one choice remaining: relocating to Dubai and try to be rich from there. After arriving in Dubai, Hushpuppi began friendship with his countryman Mofa, who is a very well-known influencer in Nigeria. And this is the time when Hushpuppi got exposed to another extravagant level of wealth in the city of Dubai that he had not seen there before, where the wealth covers the essence and the epitome of luxury, gleaming the facades of the buildings around the city. And after seeing the life of the rich people in Dubai, Hushpuppi decided that the only way to redeem himself was to return to Nigeria as a rich man. But the only problem, he didn't have an idea of how to do that. For him to afford a basic life in Dubai, he needed to work. So Hushpuppi spent the next few years working in the stores, but the job didn't last longer. So he quitted because he hated the job. And even he tried to do some small businesses, selling shoes in the boot of his cars in the neighborhood. But also, the gig didn't last. This is because he could spend all of the cash he had collected from the business to buy branded clothes and shoes, to fake a lifestyle on Instagram, and to keep his Instagram followers engaged. However, his Instagram followers began to grow. He got motivated to look for more money so that his followers don't suspect that he's faking a lifestyle. Even though everything had failed, that wasn't enough to stop Abbas from dreaming of having a real lavish lifestyle. So Abbas had no otherwise but only getting back to the scamming business that he had successfully done while in Nigeria before relocating to Malaysia. But this time round, he was doing it in an international scope, as he targeted Americans and international victims to defraud. Therefore, for Abbas to succeed in scamming the international victims, he needed a team. And this is when he joined a scheme of international fraudsters from North Korea and Canada. And it was real time for the job to begin. This is Galib Alumari, 36 years old, from Canada. One of the wired members of a Abbas crime team that included hackers from North Korea. This group committed more frauds from all around the world through bank cyber heists, business email compromise, frauds, and other fraud schemes that included a $13.7 million from a bank in Malta and funneled the money laundered through the banks in Romania and Bulgaria. Then later on, scammed $930,000 from a New York law firm. And they didn't stop there. They also attempted to scam $200 million from two companies that included the professional Premier League in the United Kingdom. But unfortunately, this time round, they did not succeed. However, since Abbas had bragged to his team to be a financial genius, this was the time for him to show his team what he's capable of doing. Nonetheless, after the English Premier League failed the scam, Abbas reconnected to his co-conspirator in Nairobi, Kenya, to scam a Qatari businessman. In Nairobi, Juma and his team hacked the Qatari businessman email account, and they realized that the Qatari was looking for a $15 million loan to build an international school in Qatar. And somehow, the Qatari and Juma were familiar. So Juma took this chance and tricked the Qatari that his company will help him secure a loan from the Wells Fargo Bank in the USA. On 12th November 2019, the Qatari businessman, alongside his financial advisor, traveled to Kenya to meet Mr. Juma in person to discuss the business. After the Qatari paying a consultant's fee of $190 to Juma's firm Okach and Partners, a law firm located in Nairobi, Kenya, the businessman signed a contract with Juma's company, the company that will help a Qatari to get a loan of $15 million from a bank in the USA. And the Qatari was confident, since Juma had given him his word that the loan had already been secured and it's just only the matter of time before he could get the money. So Juma went ahead and informed the Qatari that the bank will contact him with the solution of how he will receive the loan into his bank account.
Kenyan national Abdul Rahman Imran Juma is said to be extradited to the United States to face criminal charges. He faces up to 61 counts of money laundering, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and aggravated identity theft in the Central District of California. The judgment at a national court stated that there was no evidence showing that Juma would not be accorded a fair trial in the U.S., said the prosecution had made its case on why he should be extradited. The suspect is said to have worked with Nigerian influencer Ramon Abbas, also known as Hushpuppi, to defraud a Qatari school founder.
On December 10th, 2019, Abbas was approached by a 28-year-old Abdul Juma from Kenya. Juma wanted Abbas to draft a plan on how to scam a Qatari businessman. And since Abbas had the experience and the network, it could be easy to launder the money. But there was a problem: how to divide the money. According to the messages obtained by the FBI, it shows Abbas proposed the charges that he could get after the scam, and Juma agreed. And so, it was time to draft a plan. Abbas, as an expert, he went forward to recruit more people into the scam and structured the role of each person in the scheme. And this was his plan. Abdul Juma, who was familiar to the Qatari, was to approach the Qatari and promise to help him secure a loan of $15 million for the project of constructing an international school in Qatar. The Qatari agreed. Behind the scene, Juma targeted the Qatari money, not to help him, but to scam him. And this is the time when the real game started. Abbas will pretend that he's a manager of Wells Fargo Bank from America by the name Mr. Malik, who was supposed to contact the Qatari. But before the phone call, there was work to be done so that the victim not to sense anything fishy. Number 1 was to create a fake bank website with automated phone numbers and emails that were linked to Abbas. Number 2 was the person to speak on phone to lower the victim, because Hushpuppi has a heavy voice with a Nigerian dialect and it was easy to sense a scam. So Abbas went forward and assigned each person a role to play in the scam. The likes of Vincent Kelly, an experienced New York-based computer hacker, who was to play a role of designing a website that they will use to communicate to the victim. And due to trust issues, the conversation went from just the email to the phone calls. And at this time, Abbas was so smart. He didn't want to lose the scam. And at this time is when Yusuf Aniwoshe was brought in. Since he had lived in the US for so long, he has an American accent, so it was not easy to notice the scam. He called the Qatari, posing as an American banker, Mr. Malik. He informed the Qatari to open a bank account in the USA, where the $15 million will be deposited. And since the Qatari was far away in Doha, Qatar, Malik, being a bank manager, he offered to save the Qataris time and the expenses of traveling from Qatar to America to open a bank account. So he offered to open it for him, and the Qatari agreed, since he believed that Mr. Malik was a senior personnel in the bank. So very fast, the bank account was opened with the business names of the Qatari, alongside durable power of attorney to make the progress look legit and lawful, so that the Qatari not to sense any danger. After completing everything, Abbas, who is pretending to be Mr. Malik, contacted the businessman and informed him about the progress. Then Abbas called the Kenyan guy Juma and explained to him to inform the Qatari to deposit $250 into his account for activation, so that when the loan passes, it finds the bank account is active with a minimum balance of $250,000. The victim sensed a red flag, but since he trusted Mr. Malik, he decided to send the money, and this is how he was scammed to a total of over $1 million. Then after the scam, Abbas went forth and bought himself a $230,000 watch to flex on Instagram. On September 14th, 2021, the FBI arrested Galib Alumari, and the good luck is he had his phone with him, on which there were messages and calls from Hushpuppi. And then the FBI realized that Alomari and Hushpuppi were partners. According to the reports of the FBI, it concluded that the BEC hackers were from North Korea who committed billions of hacks from all around the world. Then Alomari will connect with Hushpuppi, who was responsible to look for bank accounts that will receive millions of dollars after being stolen.
North Korean hackers working for him. And Hushpuppi was the one moving the money, laundering it with a lot of Nigerian young men working in his house. There was a room where they took 129 laptops and 47 phones. Phone call. That phone call, the FBI played it to us. Okay, he left Freeze in the dining table, but he went to make that phone call. What's up, bro? That's Hushpuppi. Alomari, I'm on the plane. We're about to land. The signal is poor. 922,000 came in. Okay, big money came. He said, okay, send me the screenshot. Okay, when I get to the terminal, the plane will, when the plane gets to the terminal, the signal is back, the network. Okay. So Hushpuppi wanted the screenshot. So as Alomari got out of the plane, the FBI caught him, and that was the end of it.
So after the arrest of Alomari, the FBI started investigating Hushpuppi, and his Instagram posts gave the FBI all they needed to arrest him.
$100 million were for ventilators for COVID. And what Donald Trump wanted was to put that funds. Those funds were going through the United States Secret Service. They're another elite law enforcement agency. When Alomari hacked into it, reportedly, the 100 million came out. The 30 million, 30% is Hushpuppi's money, and the 70% is Alomari and his boys. So when Hushpuppi had heard, this is according to an FBI source, when Hushpuppi had heard that they've captured Alomari, rather than just go down low, lay low, whatever, he double-crossed. Okay, according to my source, he allegedly double-crossed Alomari's boys of that 70 million and kept the whole 100. Out of greed, those boys were the ones that tipped the FBI off on the entire operation. And they found a way to start looking for Hushpuppi. And then Hushpuppi flashed everything and all that.
Hushpuppi, unknowingly that the FBI were tracking him, he went forward to throw a lavish birthday party during his 37th birthday. This party brought a lot of attention on social media as he was documenting the things that he was doing on Instagram during his birthday. He posted a picture with caption stated that, "Started out my days having sushi down at Nobu in Monte Carlo, Monaco. Then decided to book a helicopter to have facials in a Christian Dior spa in Paris. Then ended my day having a champagne in Gucci." And in June 8th, 2022, the Dubai SWAT team conducted an operation that went by the name Fox Hunt 2. Unfortunately, as Hushpuppi was sleeping upstairs, the second floor of the Palazzo Versace, a penthouse in Dubai, he was arrested. Detectives seized $40 million in cash, 13 luxurious car worth $6.8 million US, 21 computers, 47 smartphones, 15 flash disks, 5 hard disks containing email address of nearly 2 million victims. After 24 hours, he was then taken to the USA by the FBI to face judgment, and he got arrested for 11 years in federal prisons. And after his arrest, his Instagram kept gaining new followers. Unfortunately, later on, the account has been brought down by Meta.
And a lot of people were coming to me, Hushpuppi, Hushpuppi. Oh, I know you from Instagram, I know you, I follow your Snapchat. And people were taking pictures with me, papa,